Hello and welcome to the IDL. My name's Nick, and this is Gluttony and Earth. So for today, I've got some hard-hitting journalism I'm going to hard and hit you with. Before I do that, Kane just decided to do a visual gag that I thought he told me ahead of time that he was going to do a visual gag.
No,
and I don't know. And I didn't know
Listeners, he's lying to you now.
Was, as I'm trying to introduce a band, he pulls out a loaf of bread as a gimmick. When he told me this ahead of time, I thought he was going to be like add to the conversation with this prop that he called it, and instead all he did was silently show us a loaf of bread.
No, that didn't happen. Come on now. That'd be ridiculous.
I legitimately thought you were going to have like a conversation piece about it. He didn't tell me what the prop was.
No, come on now.
It was just
our
bread.
Listeners know I don't add anything to the conversation. But that's fair.
Okay, well, the hard-hitting journalism I was going to ask was, what kind of pet would everyone want to get? Like, if you didn't have to worry about it being, like, taken care of or not, like, if there was, like, a special kind of animal that you'd want to have, what would you go for? Like, for me, I think I would get a sloth, like a three-toed sloth. Have, like, a fun little buddy around.
This is the difference? Possibly going to make me sound like a psychopath. I don't think I would do well with any sort of pet, because even when I'm pet sitting, it gets to a certain point where I'm like, I just want this animal not around me anymore. I'm sick of it. Like, you don't need to be next to me. So it's just like, I don't think I'm cut out for pets, because it's just like, nah, we're done here. I don't need to deal with you.
Oh, I think that's a fair enough position. I think you can understand your limits. When you said you were going to be like a psychopath, I thought you were going to say, like, as long as it's orphaned or something real psychopathic. And once again, Kane is, for the fifth time, showing us bread. Kane, do you have something that you want to share?
Honestly, I think the pet I'd love to have is like a pet duck, because like it could be your alarm. Yeah. They're easy to feed.
An alarm for what?
To wake up in the morning.
Okay. Do ducks often do that?
Yeah. Like when it gets close to sunrise, like you see them like in the cartoons, and then they'll wake up and they'll help you wake up. They're like an alarm clock.
I have never heard of a duck being used for that.
This is a bit because you're like, it's a rooster, but you're doing a bit being a duck?
No, it's just because ducks wake you up in the morning.
What are you doing today? What are you doing today? What's going on? You're showing bread, and then you're saying a duck wakes you up in the morning instead of a rooster. What is happening today?
They're easy.
I don't know what that bread says. Your camera's too dark.
They're easy to feed.
It's Sara Lee white bread.
Thanks for the future sponsorship.
I don't think Sara Lee's going to sponsor us. All right. I think I figured this out. I think I know what the problem is. Kane told me ahead of time that he had a migraine. I think when Kane gets a migraine, I think this is his $40 worth of bread. It
really is.
$40
I bought my $40 worth of Sara Lee bread.
Where he you didn't buy that much. I think this is more like you're sick. And now you think ducks are a funny bit. Baka, what kind of pet would you want?
My joke is gone now. I was going to say I want to be my pet, but we went a whole thing about ducks waking you up in the morning.
I'm sorry that I didn't ask you before game. Kyle, what kind of pet would you want?
An otter.
An otter? What about otters do you like?
They're fucking cute.
I realize I don't know anything about otters, so I can't really.
They smell up. Yeah, this is my problem with these hypothetical pet questions because I've worked with animals and stuff, especially animals that aren't good as pets. It's like every time somebody brings up a pet like that, I'm like, that's an awful idea. Don't fucking do that. But I know it's like a hypothetical, blah, 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 whatever the hell.
Yeah,
but
that's the insight.
I'm terrible at it. I'm terrible at it.
Tell Kyle what's wrong about having an otter.
Wild animals bite. Smell like shit.
Yeah.
Water. You got to take care of water. Oils. It's just not good.
Oh, yeah. You get a lot of oil out of them.
Muscelids.
Well, if I don't have to take care of it.
That's the thing, isn't it?
Oh.
Everybody's just like, I want a fucking goddamn everything in the world. Oh, I have to take care of it and provide for it. Ducks, they shit in water all the fucking time. You were just like, it'd be easy to feed a duck. You know how fucking messy those bastards are?
It's easy.
It's not easy.
If the only water Kane has in his apartment is the toilet water, then they'll know. And that's the water they'll shit in, and it'll be fine.
Well, mess up feet because it's having to walk around on hard floor all the time and just sit in a toilet.
I have carpet.
We need to move on.
Okay, well, speaking of not taking care of your birds, that's not exactly what happened.
What?
What happened? Speaking of birds with hardships, let's get that right.
I was going to turn my camera on. No, it's being assaulted. My poor owl died. I had to fight its spirit that was cursed. Now look at us.
I foresaw like when Bumble started saying all of these things. I'm like, none of this is gonna end well. This is like, I get the band's idea of like, oh, we just like dealing with Nure and like all that type of stuff and pets and it's associated. I'm like, it's a bad band though because we just killed the spirit of this owl that was being tortured. It's not a good introduction.
I can't breathe.
I was gonna say I had a second part to the bands where I was going to suggest also like if there was an animal that you've had in the past that you liked having, if you would do that again. But I got so derailed with the bread.
What is Kane's face? Why did he come out of the darkness with that face?
Did that blow your mind, Kane, that I was going to ask? Kane, you knew what the bands was ahead of time. You were there when I wrote it.
All right, audience, for your visual imagination, Kane's camera is dark as hell. He was leaning back, and when Nick said that, he leaned right up to the camera with the widest open mouth grin on his face. Fucking insanity.
What is happening?
Oh,
I lost
Lord.
control of the show.
You had control of this thing?
I'm steering the ship.
I'm the captain now.
I am the captain. So last time the crew fought off a shambling mound of flesh and teeth as it tried to eat them, and afterwards Endien led them not to the castle, but to the graves of her and Silas's pets that died on the island during their library exam about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago. As they were investigating it, they heard an owl from the trees, and as Endien investigated that, she was attacked by some sort of demonic bird creature with features of an owl. After a hard fight, Silas killed the demonic creature, absorbing its curse energy, leaving behind the spirit of an owl that looked just like Nure, and Nure being Endien's dead companion. Endien then approached it, and as she could hear in her mind and heart, said thank you, and it faded away. And that's all that really happened for us. Bit of a short recap, but a very heavy recap. Whew, that's where we were. I'm still catching my breath.
I think we have to cancel the rest of this. We can't go into a serious session after what just happened. What do you want from me?
silence.
You look at me like you expect me to do something.
I was expecting any of you to do something, and then we just went into
I don't know
silence
what
after
you
that. Of course, I see Adam start to crack, and then so like I'm gonna fucking crack with laughter. Okay, you guys need to calm down.
Oh,
I'm the one that can't breathe because of laughing.
yeah. Calm down, Baka. Come on now.
Yeah. So, Nure spirit faded out of your arms, and as you know, both the graves were undisturbed. So, whatever is affecting this island, you know, is affecting more than just the living creatures here.
I think because Endien is still where this creature / spirit disappeared from, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
I think Darius kind of squats down next to her because I think she was on her sitting down or on her knees or something like that. And just kind of quiet, like puts a hand on her shoulder. And not that Darius is the best in emotional situations. And just says quietly, "Why don't I take another look at that wand there?"
I don't know what the last word you said was.
Let me take a look at that wand there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, hand over the wand.
And as Darius will start casting Identify as a ritual, while also saying, sorry about earlier there. I should have trusted you when you said it was going to be important.
No, I should have told you.
During this time, Temenos would get on his knees and start praying, and he would pray to Asana Vita for Nure to have the ability to be joined with Asana Vita in the afterlife.
Having given the wand to Darius and letting him look over, she'll go back over to the graves and just like is tidying it a little bit, like anything that's overgrown it. Like tears falling down her face, making sure the berry bush that's grown behind it is doing well. If it making sure it's not got some kind of whatever's going on this island affecting it.
Yeah, that everything seems to be pretty good. Nothing seems disturbed. It seems whatever had manifested purely out of spirit and not everything that's like there has not been like desecrated in any way like that. Yeah, you identify this. You're looking it over. It was the stick with the owl's feathers. What you're looking at, right?
Yeah.
You guys described it as a wand, so I just wanted to make sure I was looking at the right thing. Okay. Yeah, you're getting transmutation. Are you casting Identify, or are you just spending like a short rest identifying it? What are you guys going through? How are your process on it?
I was at least going to ritual cast Identify, which is 10 minutes. Whether or not we need a short rest, I mean, I'm not against it. I'm okay, but I also wasn't hurt during the fight.
Yeah.
I was hurted quite a bit.
So yeah, then I guess while everyone's short resting, you understand that this thing is a feather token. Specifically a tree feather token. You can use an action to touch it to an unoccupied space on the ground. The token disappears, and in its place, a non-magical oak tree springs to existence. The tree is 60 feet tall and has 5-foot diameter trunk, and its branches at the top spread out in a 20-foot radius.
Interesting. I hand it back to Endien. Just saying, wherever you want to use it, but it'll grow quite a sizable tree when you activate it. Wherever you think it's best to plant that. I'm not. You found it, so I think it's up to you to where you want to put it.
All right. Thank you. I wasn't there for him when he needed me. I don't know how long that had been affecting him.
I mean, there was no way you could have known what was happening here.
It doesn't change that I wasn't there, though. I mean, I wouldn't be alive if it wasn't for him saving me.
Well, you've taken it out of the curse, whatever was happening to it, so you've saved it. Them, sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how long that had been happening for. Instead of coming here to check on him, I was just expecting him to be checking on me. Like he always did.
He loved you, and you loved him back. There's no greater bond than this.
Well, we have something we need to do, I do suppose. We can't spend our time here.
You take the time you need, Endien. I don't think we got plenty of time to take care of what we got to take care of. If it's just setting up another one of these poles next to the castle, that ain't going to take us too long. And then it's not that long of a walk back to the beach. We got all day tomorrow still, too. So you take the time you need.
I would like to spend a little more time here, if that's all right.
Of course. It's important to remember those who aren't with us anymore. If you don't remember them, then they disappear. No one wants to disappear.
Do you think Thelum is in a similar situation?
I don't know. I hope not, but I also don't know if we'd ever be able to get back there to check on him.
That's what I worry about.
It's something I can look into, though, because it didn't seem... That place was certainly different. I mean, it didn't seem to be in the same time as us. But I mean, there might be ways of getting back there to check up on him.
Yeah, Endien will... if everybody's okay with it, take time to trance here. Which only takes her 4 hours. I don't know what time of day it is right now.
I'd say it's probably around more closer to midday at this point.
Yeah, people are okay with it. I don't want to take all of our time. We just take time to trance here to... typically, when she trances, it's to convene with the elven and the vast elven knowledge, but she wants to just be more in this moment with nature, and the memory of Nure.
Yeah, I think as you're trancing, you're more you can feel the breeze a lot more you're more in tune with the breeze around you, similar to how perhaps Nure felt when in the skies, like that, understanding the currents, and you're more in tune with the open skies around you. But yeah, you guys get your rest in. What are the others you guys doing during this time? Anything special?
since Thelum was brought up, Temenos is now again going to start praying and just praying for Thelum and hoping that there's a resolution in the future.
Yeah. I think as Temenos is thinking about Thelum and all this, I think it might give you memories of the last time you prayed and felt like you had some sort of answer, where you wondered if it was going to go well for everyone, and you saw stormy clouds arising as you thought and asked about that. Is Darius or Silas doing anything special?
I would be cleaning up the graves and just putting like flowers on it.
Sprucing them up.
Yeah, I think Darius is actually doing something very similar. His idea, at least, was to gather up. If we have 4 hours, he can range out a little bit. Gather up enough stones to make like a small border almost around the graves. Not enough so that they'll impede any of the plants growing, but enough to demark it as something special.
Yeah, you guys get this kind of a nice spruced up, a little bit more divided in a way. Obviously not divided from nature, but divided as in to mark it, as you said. And I think it all kind of comes together nicely. Both the graves for Nure and for Chunky Chicky.
Coming out of her trance, she will see all the work everybody's put into the graves. She'll just kind of to herself and kind of anybody else listening is Nure was the reason that I was able to become a librarian, and his death also spurred me to complete that process. I wouldn't want his memories to be in vain and fail here. So we must continue forward, and I can't keep letting that hold me back either. She will take the stick with the feather, and she is gonna plant it here, and not on the side of the cliff that would be facing out, so that there's still the view out, but to the side of it, so that there will be a tree there for his spirit to perch, so that he has a place to perch, and she doesn't necessarily have to be leaving her window open for that.
Yeah, and this grand oak just magically spurs out from the ground, like an expedited, almost like the twig itself is growing and bursting and reforming into life into this oak tree. And you see there's a perfect like knot or hole in the tree side where perhaps someday another family of birds could make purchase as well.
Could I actually... Oh, I'm actually gonna get to use a spell that I haven't been using. I'm gonna cast Borrowed Knowledge to get help from my chicken to see if I can get flowers for him, for his grave.
Describe Borrowed Knowledge for me.
You draw knowledge from spirits of the past. Choose one skill in which you lack proficiency. For the spell's duration, you have proficiency in the chosen skill. The spell ends early if you cast it again.
Okay, so we'll say you have proficiency in nature. Yeah, if you want to give me a nature roll, see what kind of stuff you might like.
I gave him a proficiency bonus?
Yeah. So if you give you proficiency, it'd be whatever your proficiency bonus is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
13.
13. You start looking around the areas that you might like, and you find some You find that it might like some lavender, some dandelions. I don't know how to pronounce this flower. The echinacea.
The Agnusi?
I'm gonna.
That's my chicken.
Oh, it's also called a cone flower. purple cone flower.
Nah, that's a sea flower.
It's the echinacea flower.
That's my boy.
Some pinks, some purples, some yellows. And I don't think it'll be hard for you to find them in the area.
But it's like Silas is just walking around. He's imagining he's walking around with this chicken, looking for those flowers.
Yeah, it's almost like the way the chicken's head like juts out. It's like almost like that, like pointing you or like urging you or nudging you in a direction as you're hunting these down.
No, there's something else on my back.
I'm ready to travel if everyone else is.
Yeah, I'm ready to head out if you are.
Before they leave, she's going to take one of the berries from the berry bush and pop it in her mouth and squish it against the roof of her mouth with her tongue, and savoring the flavor of the berries that Nure brought her to allow her to have enough energy to survive after being having her ribs cracked and body bruised by Javin when she tried to protect the unicorn.
Yeah. What color fruit do you think what color berry do you think it was?
I think they would be red.
I think Baka. I don't think Baka's talking about the special berries. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
talking
No,
about
the
sorry,
berries-
When you said the bush,
yeah.
Sorry, when you said that, that's made me think you were talking about the special.
Yes,
berry.
sorry, no. The berry bush growing behind the grave.
Oh, that one. Okay. That makes a lot more sense to me now. I was like, okay. Yeah. Securing that shared memory then with you guys as you head outwards. Can I have everyone let me know what they are doing to along this path? It's not going to take as long to get there this time, but I'm curious what you guys are doing traveling from here to the castle.
I'll navigate, since this is a path that Silas and I took at one point, because we had to go from the castle to this gravesite.
I believe I was giving you advantage with that.
I'll take it if you're giving it now.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage with that. That's fine.
I will try to navigate as well, since I'm slightly better at that than looking out for enemies.
Okay, so it's 2 survival checks.
Temenos will be the one to kind of be the lookout for any enemies that might be near.
Okay.
You gonna smooch your sword?
I'll put the sword away for now.
Okay.
I'll look out for enemies also.
Look out for enemies. Okay. 2 perceptions and 2 survivals.
I don't think sword swallowing's the proper time, right?
Temenos rolled a dirty 20.
Ooh.
Guess what, bitch? I rolled a nat 20.
Ooh.
I see enemies better.
See what sword swallowing gets you?
I rolled double, so I guess we follow DOIP rules, right? And I get to add those together.
What? What?
We had a rule in Dragon White Spire Peak: if you roll doubles, you add them together. It was
gosh.
instantly broken. I got an 18.
18. Okay.
I used a little bit of honor to reroll my natural 1, so I got a 9 on my survival.
9 on your survival. Oh, damn. You guys needed 5 successes. I thought with that nat 20 you were going to get it. But no. Instead, you are just rolling with a someone rolled me a percentile with a minus 10% is what it is.
That sounds like a Adam roll since you got the lowest roll.
Okay.
Okie dokie. Just gotta get low again.
Yeah, I've been historically great at these. You are not gonna fucking believe what I got.
100?
Not quite. I got where it's minus 10.
It's minus 10.
So I got an 82.
An 82.
Whoa.
Nice.
Whoa.
Can't wait to die.
I have gotten-
in our moment with Ted. We can join.
I would have gotten an 81.
So it's getting. You guys are heading there. It's
75.
Oh, we all would have sucked. Okay, I feel less bad.
No, you lucked out on this one. Because I replaced. So behind the scenes, I'm using a list of random encounters that I built when I was running Endien and Silas through the library exam. And this number would have been 1d2 applicants that you guys would have run into. But I replaced all the applicants with nothing happens.
Nice.
So you guys lucked out on a high roll here. You guys make your way and you get to the castle without problem. So I've put in our handouts channel on Discord the layout of this castle, and the reason I'm giving the layout of the castle is because both Silas and Endien have explored this castle before in depth. So I think they would have a better understanding of where things are. So when they have questions about it, I can always ask, or they can ask me what certain rooms are or whatever. But you guys have that specifically if you would like to ask anything or go anywhere specific. Yeah, so you arrive at this castle. It's got this large outer walls blocking it off with a gate. Endien and Silas would know that on the inside of that is a second is a castle with 4 outer towers in like the corners, and it is a 3-2. Where the heck are you?
Where the heck? What the heck?
Yeah, it is a 3-story building. Once you go from the inside, and it's got a basement as well. You guys have a pike to set up somewhere in this castle.
If I remember, there's like an open air garden.
There is.
Garden might be the best place to put it. I don't know if it needs non-enclosed space to work.
Leork wasn't too specific about it. He said as long as they were close to the location, I don't think it's going to matter much.
All right, we can put it there. The ghost should be gone, or maybe
There-
moved in.
Is there anything else of note in this area? Or anything else y'all want to check out again since you're here?
Well, this is where I got the King's Sword.
Oh, well, okay.
It's also where this happened. She runs her hands over the bark on her face.
Okay.
Silas, if I recall, you had like visions of dead people. There's like the guy hanging in the tower and all this other stuff.
Oh, that's
All Full Miffy's dead companions.
oh,
Yes.
Full Miffy being a applicant during their test that they ran into right at this gate from the inside, who pulled a crossbow on them. And then they quickly became allies. I wouldn't say friends, but allies.
It's generally haunted. I'm sure other monsters in the basement as well. Lots of traps. I don't know how much of that has been reset or...
Well, if this is where you found the King's Sword, at least we should take a look in that area, see if there's anything else about it that we might be able to learn about.
Yes, I would like to try and see what we can gather about it. And if there's anything about the Queen's Beast here as well. It's not here. It's left the island, but if there's any information on it here, that could be useful as well.
All right. I am going to, as we start entering this castle, I'm going to activate or use my borrowed eyes from the Eyes of the Watcher. So I can influence the guiding presence of the Watchers for an hour, and I gain advantage on investigation and perception checks, and I cannot be blinded.
There you go.
As Darius is, or as we're walking in, Darius's eyes go completely monochrome, like Dark World, as he is also looking through the eyes of all these shadow creatures that he has become accustomed to seeing now around him as well.
Okay, and you guys are heading into, you want to look into the open air garden, correct?
Yeah, that's where we're going to put the pike.
So you get through past the first gates, and then you see the building. You get inside the building. In first, you deal with is there's a hallway that surrounds the castle, like a square. That's like a square hallway, goes all the way around it. So you enter this area, and then in the double doors right in front of you would be where that garden is. You guys open up the double doors, you step inside, and you notice it is pitch black out. It is dark out. It is nighttime.
Was it nighttime when we came through the front door?
Nope.
This is okay. It's starting.
All right.
Temenos will cast Detect Good and Evil.
Ooh, give me the details of Detect Good and Evil.
Okay, let's see. For the duration, so it's a concentration spell up to 10 minutes. For the duration, you know if there's an aberration, celestial, elemental, fey, fiend, or undead within 30 feet of you. Similarly, if you know there's a place or object within 30 feet of you that's been magically consecrated or desecrated.
Okay. You can tell that this entire place feels desecrated. You also realize now that you can detect an undead or some spirit behind you.
Guys, I know I don't need to warn you, but there's nothing good here. There's been some bad stuff that's happened, and we need to really be on guard. As Temenos is now going to turn around and just keep watch and see if there's anything weird going on behind them.
Do you have dark vision? Who doesn't have dark vision?
I think all of us do.
Yeah, because
yes, Temenos does.
Half elves do, because half elves get it. Okay, so you all have dark vision. You turn around, and you see perched on a tree branch is an owl.
Cute.
Can I sense that this is Nure?
You are getting sense that it is undead. It is not living.
But I can't tell if it's the same spirit that
I don't
we
think.
just fought.
If you point it out to people, it would maybe. I think the only person who would probably have a better idea from looking at it would be Endien. Otherwise, it would just look like a barn owl to you.
Yeah, I would let Endien know. And Endien, look, on the tree branch, barn owl.
Does it look familiar?
It looks like Nure.
This is where he died. I
Endien,
will lift my hand to see if he comes down.
And Nure swoops down and it almost translucently fades out and fades back in, perched on your arm.
Just kind of relishes in the moment of, even though he's spiritual, having him back by your side. Are you here to guide us, or?
He hoots in agreement.
We're here to place a pike that will help cure the curses that are on this island. Would this be a good spot for it?
And he'll fly off to, like a lot of this area is very stone structured.
Mhm.
You know that a lot of it's going to be hard earth and hard stone to like get in, even though it's because you're in this open air area. But like underneath is basement, so it's going to be hard to like get anything in this spot. Except for there are 2 patches to the left and the right of this area where the trees grow out of that they have like from nice soft earth. So you could probably put them in one of those 2 patches of grassland.
These would be good spots here. The foundation underneath won't impede our placement.
All right. Should we take care of the pike first and then start investigating inside?
I worry about if we were to place the pike and leave it alone.
It seemed to have some like protective magics once we get it up and going, right?
Yeah. The runes around it helped give it once everything was activated, it gave it like a warding effect.
Okay, then yeah, we can place it so that we know that part's done and we can take our time with everything else.
Yeah. So in case we need to make a hasty retreat, we don't have to worry about taking care of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Endien, are you trained in nature or an expert in nature?
Let's see if I have anything. I am just proficient in nature.
Okay, so you're just proficient in nature. So here's what I'm going to have you guys do. I think because Endien was asking Nure to help find a right place for the placement, I'm going to have Endien make the nature check. And I'm going to give you a +2 to that.
Ooh.
Check.
Nice.
Which means I need one of you to... I'll need someone to give me an athletics check to secure the pike. One of you to give me a perception check to make sure the area is clear of threats. And one of you to give an arcana check to do the runes around it.
Are we doing...
I think we all know what our roles are.
Can I similarly have Kainos assist Silas with planting this pike again by digging a little hole for it?
Yeah. You can do that with a plus. I'll do it with a +2 as well with this.
I will also guidance on Silas.
That's advantage, right? Yeah.
Yeah, guidance is a
D4?
I think
D4?
it's a D4.
Yeah.
D4.
It is a D4. Yep.
Yeah.
Your D4. Also entering this place, I don't remember if I did have it up during the fight, but I'm gonna put on mage armor.
Okay.
Smart move. I'm not gonna roll that dice. That dice rolled like shit for me.
Temenos rolled an 11 for perception.
Okay.
Endien had 18 for nature.
Okay.
I'm going to, just because I'm Norivus, because I got a 9 plus 7 is 16, but I don't know how good we have to be. So I'm going to use Saving Face to bump that up to, well, no. JK, I'll use Flash of Genius to bring that up to a 20.
Okay. Now it's up to the strength check.
How much is it to reroll?
I believe it is 2 honor to reroll. Let me just...
Yeah, it's 2. I have a long list of having to reroll last sessions.
Okay. That nat one never happened?
Ooh.
Oh, that's way better. Okay, I have a +2 from Kaino, so 27?
Dang.
Ooh.
That was really
Yeah. You guys find a very nice secured area and you just jam it in there. And it's pretty secured in there. All things go pretty well this time around.
Look at
The
that.
only fail that you had was from Temenos. Because the DC again for all of these were 17. That's what we were looking for.
Oh, good thing I could have. Okay, good
Yeah.
thing I did
I
use
was
my
wondering.
stuff then.
I was wondering what your JK was. Was it was it that you weren't going to use anything, or
No, I always think of DCs in 5s, so it didn't seem like as worthwhile of an increase to go from 16 to 19.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. So you guys successfully get this thing. You get the runes in, and it's they start to get their warding magic affected. Creatures seem to. You don't think anything's going to be able to. Anything demonic is going to be able to come in and disrupt this.
Okay, let's head inside. Let's see if we can find out more about this place.
Yeah.
I kind of looked at Endien and Silas since they've been here before as to where we should start with.
I believe the throne room is on the other side of where we entered this room from. Might be a good place to start.
Yes.
Silas is in the back.
Okay.
There's a gap between him and the group.
Okay. Okay.
Does Nure stay with me?
Nure starts to fly with you, and Nure will go in and out of transparency,
Okay.
like as a ghostly emergence every so often.
Boop boop.
Go ahead.
Nure.
Am I hungry?
You have been hungry for the entire time you've been on this island, but it's been kind of like you're realizing there's been no gap to it, and it's making you realize now that you've been hungry this entire time. Even more so, you are. Maybe what you realize is it's like when you go from like a dull headache to like a serious migraine. In that level of intensity of like where you were used to it, and then you're like, oh shit, here it is. This feels bad. Yeah, you feel this intense hunger now.
Can I sense one nearby?
It feels like ever present to you.
Okay. I'll just make it present itself. Or wait for it to present.
Mm-hmm. Okay. As you're catching up to them, they get to the throne room. What exactly are you looking for specifically in the throne room, do you think? Are you just trying to look around to see if there's things that you might recognize, or are you going down to the secret room where you found the sword?
Any iconography of like the Queen's Beast at all, or I suppose throne rooms don't really have like books or anything in them. So yeah, just like any iconography of that. Otherwise, I would progress to the secret room.
Okay, yeah, nothing, no Queen's Beast related stuff here.
Is there any are there any murals or anything in here? Because Darius is also approaching this a little bit like archaeologist as he is of is there anything in here to give me an idea of like any sort of extra information about the sword, because we kind of have like vague information but nothing super concrete. I will also, when we get into here, use my wand of magic detection to cast detect magic as well as we go into the throne room.
Okay. You're not catching anything magical.
Okay.
It seems like a lot of this place has been worn out in a way that's... well, give me an investigation check.
Okay. I have advantage from my special eye. Oh, a good thing, because we've had a lot of ones this time around. That's going to be a dirty 20 for my
Dirty
investigation.
20. Yeah, so as you're looking around, you're looking for banners and like any kind of iconography and all this stuff. And what you're noticing is there's not anything. There's like, it seems as though this place doesn't have any. And you think it's a weird for how, like, sure, librarians probably come and go out of here every year. And so like there's going to be like wear and tear to this place. But it's strange to have all of the iconography stripped away. And you think that that might have been someone at some point purposefully removed everything from here. That could be related to the Bird Kingdom.
Okay. Cool. That's just kind of file that away and keep following Endien.
Behind the throne room is a secret door that leads down to the basement into a secret room where you found the King's Sword. Down here, I don't believe there was anything else that you really found down here, unless you guys remember anything special.
I think there was other like items, but nothing crazy.
Nothing magical, nothing special out of them. We'll say there is a box down here that's full of trinkets that seem to be like maybe papers that are well worn and like brittle to the touch, that might not have, good durability to them anymore, that could easily break or something like that. And like maybe some unpolished jewelry that's kind of needs a lot of work to restore.
Sorry, does it look like, without destroying the papers, obviously, does it look like anything could be gleaned from the papers at all? Or is it like so old and time-worn that...
In their current state, you'd think they'd be too worn and time-worn to be useful. You'd have to do something to make them better again, or get something. Right now, they're so fragile. It's been so long. You're not sure exactly how long. I guess, what's your archaeology thing lets you know roughly time frames of stuff, right?
Yeah. You can ascertain original purpose, determine builders, monetary value of art objects. I thought it had something about time.
I thought so too, because I remember using that before. Unless you got 5.5'd and your background got changed.
Think so, because I didn't get a feat from it, so I didn't get updated against my will. I thought it had that. Can correctly ascertain its original purpose and determine its builders. In addition, you can determine the monetary. Maybe we just have kind of like unofficially rolled that into it.
So that seems so weird, because I vaguely remember. We use that so much because that's what your thing did.
Yeah, yes, I also, it sounds very familiar as well. So I don't know, again, if we just kind of assumed that's what it was, or misread something and assumed that's what it was.
So it might determine what kind of information you get. So I want to be... No, I don't know. That is bizarre. Okay, yeah, so... Yeah, you just know that these things will be... I was going to say you might get a little glean more information on like time frames, but yeah, it seems as though they're just... they're old. They're well worn. They have to be old enough to be like the point that... you think if they were restored at some point, they could have some interesting or valuable information to them. And it's interesting because specifically, it seems as though other people, where the top has been stripped of iconography, this room was left untouched. Whoever stripped it didn't realize this room was here specifically, or else they might have also grabbed the King's Sword at that point in time as well.
Yeah, if they're all in a little box that's like easily pick upable, Darius will tuck that away, because I can use, I have mending, so he may spend part of his long rest, but it takes a minute to it takes a while to cast, so it's like not to do it here, but just to like gather them all up so that he can kind of restore them when they have more time and are in less spooky of circumstances.
Okay. What about Temenos and Silas? Did you guys try to go down with them, or did you stay up in the throne room?
Temenos would have followed along.
Okay. Yeah, this is parts of the island that you never got to explore. You were kind of confined to the beach for your entire time. So this is like more adventure for you that you didn't get to do before.
I went down with them.
You went down with them? Okay. Where did that go?
Oh no, we set off a trap.
No. I just needed to know where you guys were when you did this. Okay.
If it is important, Darius is, since we now know there's at least one secret room, Darius is looking over these rooms much more carefully to see if there are other secret rooms in them. If we got like a double secret room or like any other room that we spend like a certain amount of time in, he's looking for like signs that there could be more hidden areas.
Okay. I won't make you roll for it because you won't find anything. So I just want to, I'll forgo it. Yeah, you're not gonna. You'll find that this seems to be like the only real secret room in this. There's no like double secret room in this area.
Mm-hmm.
However, as you're like checking, you guys notice that it feels like this room has been filled up with fog. Like it's like slowly kind of crept onto you guys that this is like started fogging up somehow down here.
Should we head upstairs? I mean, fog normally fills the lowest area, so something coming in from the throne room?
Probably, yes.
I'll climb up and look.
So you climb up, and you get up top, and you open the hatch that kind of leads to this area, and you notice this entire place has also been filled up with fog. So everything is starting to get harder to see in here.
That's unusual. I mean, it could be just part of whatever's causing this place to be in darkness, though. So it's, I mean, the whole place has been desecrated, so who knows what else is going on here.
I'll put my hand on the hilt of the supposed god on my back. I'll try to suss out if there's a curse in this room.
Again, it feels like you're almost surrounded by it. Like you're in. It almost feels like you're in the curse's stomach instead.
DM, has it been 10 minutes since I cast my detect good and evil?
Yes.
Okay.
We'll say that that's gone by at this point as you guys have traversed and climbed down and looked at stuff. And it hasn't gone away. The sense of evil basically hasn't left for you.
Right.
Endien, you start to levitate.
Nope.
Give me a con save.
Dua Lipa?
Yeah. Endien, give me a Dua Lipa. Do a Dua Lipa save. Got that? Redo it. Endien, give me a Dua Lipa save.
11.
11.
If it's a Dua Lipa save, then it's a dirty 20.
Oh, okay. No, it was just a con save. You start to levitate. You raise about 20 feet, and you just kind of... you raise about 20 feet. You're near the entrance, but you're just of the hatch. Like, you're almost up where Silas is, and you have stopped hovering at that point. But you started levitating up 20 feet. Just suspended there.
So... I don't know what to do about this. I'm gonna so like, am I up in the throne room now?
You're almost there. You could grab the ladder and climb yourself up if you needed to.
I'm gonna... Okay, I'll do that then. If I can just grab the ladder, I'll do that.
Okay. Yeah, if Silas eggs, so Silas would be above you, and then if Silas clears the area, you'd be able to climb out of this, and whether or not you'd float in the throne room, you'd have to see.
I'll see if I float in the throne room or not.
Okay. As Silas is getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys start getting closer to this AI, you start floating now in the throne room, about 20 feet tall. You're hitting the ceiling basically at this point.
Any ideas what's happening? Anybody?
Can I I would climb up after Endien. Does this feel like it could be any known magical effect or a creature or what?
It could be a magical effect. It could be.
I don't think you're gonna do that. I don't think. I'll test it out. This place feel familiar, akin to where I'm inside a curse.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
Huh.
So there's a floor.
Silas starts walking off.
Okay.
And where are you going?
I'm to find. I didn't notice this first time around. Well, I didn't know about curses the first time. You always know this place is cursed. I didn't think it would be the same thing that I go into to destroy curse.
You go into curses?
I thought I explained this last time. No? I go into curses.
I was there last time. I don't know if you explained it or not.
I do not believe I have ever been told about this.
It's a thing. You don't need to worry about it.
His sword eats it or something. He did.
Your sword eats the curses? The god on your back eats curses? And you were just gonna walk out of here while Endien's floating up on the ceiling and not tell us about it?
She can teleport. She's fine.
Well, can I manipulate how I'm floating, or do I can I move while I'm in the air, tumble?
Well, you are at the ceiling. You could probably try and use the ceiling to move.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if I get rewrited to float a specific way, or if I could just be any which way. I'm essentially trying to see if this is attached to those string things that I saw.
Oh, I see. Yeah. You're able to maneuver. You're able to spin around if you use the wall. Actually, as you use the wall to try and spin, you feel stuck to it.
Oh,
at first.
Well, this is not what I was expecting. Oh, but I can take my hand off it. It just
you can take your off. Yeah. You're not stuck to it, but you stick to it at first. But you are able to peel yourself off of it.
Do you want us to throw you a rope? Make you into a balloon, I guess.
Well, I'm doing some investigating of it right now. I can throw a rope down when I'm ready for somebody to pull me around. I'm just trying to figure out if it's what the nature of me floating it. Am I being pulled to something that's upstairs, or I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm sticking to the wall, kind of.
This didn't happen last time, right? Where each member got affected by magical affliction.
Last time,
I think we just got separated a lot.
Yeah, you guys got separated a lot. And you didn't really discuss between each other what really happened a lot of the time back then.
That sounds about right.
So, yeah, you guys each kind of got affected differently by this area, but you just really didn't express it, so... Usually it happened when you were separated, but...
You're gonna peek out the hallway?
You peek out the hallway. It's foggy, it's dark, you don't really see anything. So give me a perception check.
While he does that, I do try to face step to the ground to see if that breaks it or anything.
Okay. You face step to the ground, and as soon as you hit the ground, you start floating back up again.
Okay. I tried
said perception.
charm.
Yeah, perception.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, you open the door, and as soon as you like reopen the door to like look outside, there is a figure directly in front of you. And that is where we're going to end this episode. Thank you all for listening in. Don't forget, you want to like and rate and review and do all that stuff. Subscribe to the feed, subscribe to the YouTube, ring that bell, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your mother, tell your the lady next to you at the bus stop. Get everyone to listen to this. You know that they'll like it. It's a good show. We've got such amazing players here. If you want to tell us anything about it, you can find their socials. We've said it 100 million times. Otherwise, you can always check out IDL on Blue Sky, IDL-RPGS. I think then we will see you next time. Thanks for listening. Bye.